Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and this morning Kristin Hildabrand, Warren County Extension Agent for Horticulture, is going to bring us some tips. Good morning, Kristin.
Good morning, Joanna.
Now, Kristin, a lot of people are interested in gardening, and sometimes for their very first time.
Yes.
But we're all excited about it. But now is kind of the heat of gardening. We're in it literally, figuratively. Our produce is coming in. But as excited as we are, we probably need to take some time and take some safety precautions.
Oh, absolutely. So, there's different things that can happen in the garden that you might not even think about because you're so excited. And gardening is really good for us. We really try to strive for 2.5 hours a week. So that's really good gardening exercise for us because if you think about it, anytime you get your heart rate up, that's really good. Anytime that you're carrying something that might be kind of heavy, it's going to work some muscles that you might not work during when you're around the home and other activities. So if you need to, that 2.5 hours kind of seems like a lot, but you can kind of gradually work into that. And right now there's a lot of different activities going on. And so a couple of the other things that we had talked about yesterday was that, to dress appropriately. The other factor with that is to make sure that you do stay hydrated during the heat right now. So make sure to drink plenty of water. If you want to take a water bottle outside, if that's how you prefer your water to be drunk, or if you want to use like a water bottle, like something like that that actually has a lot of water to it, make sure you have it before you go outside and during those activities, and even drink some after you go back in. So that way that you do stay properly hydrated. So generally, based on your weight, it's usually half of your weight. That's how much water you do need. And if you're doing a lot more strenuous activity, you're going to need a lot of water. So just make sure that you do stay hydrated. The other thing is to make sure you don't go out on an empty stomach, because I think sometimes we get up first thing in the morning, and I'm better about drinking liquid than I am solids. So, have something like a yogurt or a protein bar, something that's going to give you a nice little kick of energy. That way that you can make it through until you have to go back in and maybe come back out. So make sure that you do have plenty of energy that way. The other thing to kind of avoid is any kind of sugary type drinks, things like that. That's why water is a little bit more preferred. So really know that ahead of time. I feel like I don't do this very well. Sometimes I have knee trouble. And so knee pads are also really good if you have to kind of get down closer to the ground. That's always really good to kind of keep underneath your knee so that way that it doesn't cause anything to kind of, get cramped up and things like that.
Yeah, or they have those little gardening stools even that you can sit
I forgot
down
about those. Yeah, those are really important too. So feel free to have those accessible to you. The next thing I want to talk about, and it seems like this year there's been a lot of ticks and also mosquitoes. Several people have called and asked about that. So it's really important to wear some type of insect repellent. Of course, we recommend something that's got DEET in it. If you don't want to use that, use something that is going to repel mosquitoes. And then it's also important with that spray that you use probably long sleeve shirt and pants, even with some closed-toed shoes. That will also help keep those kind of critters from getting on you, and so that way you're doing your protection there. Always when we're out, we want to make sure we're wearing sunscreen. So SPF, if it's above a certain amount, usually the higher the number, the better it's going to protect your face. I feel like, sometimes people forget to put things on their ears and their nose. So make sure you cover really well and watch for water resistant, because generally when we start sweating, then that gets removed. So watch for that water resistant option. And then the other thing is chapstick. I feel like I don't do a good job of remembering to put on chapstick, and that also has some SPF protection in it as well. So that's really, really important. Lastly, Joanna, there's tools that we come in contact with. It's really important with using tools that we watch about getting our hands nicked and things like that. So it's really important to kind of watch your tools, sharpen them how you're supposed to. And then also it's even provided from your healthcare provider to make sure your tetanus shots are up to date. So if you have a question about that, give them a call. The reason is that tetanus is through the soil, and if you have any like breaks or anything, cuts in your hands or on your clothing, because sometimes that does happen, then it's a way for them to get in. So just make sure your tetanus is up to date, and then whenever you're using your pesticides, make sure you follow those label directions accordingly.
All right, so a lot to remember, but if you have questions about any of this, make sure to contact your local extension office and we'd be happy to help. Thanks for watching and have a great day.